My friends, there is a very big fight that goes on, that people are absolutely incognizant or unaware of. You see, they are aware of all the other things that are going on in the natural realms, all these things that you can see with your physical eyes. But my friends, the fight I'm talking about is a spiritual one. This fight is one that anyone who chooses the kingdom of God will embark on a road that leads to this fight. See, this fight, my friends, is for the souls of human beings. This fight is for the destiny of human beings. You see, and their destiny with God, to enter into the kingdom of God. You see, this is the fight. And the fight is against your own flesh and the flesh of human beings. You see, which is why most people don't understand this fight, because fighting to them is something that is a fleshly thing. You debate and you argue, using your carnal mind, wit, you see, the ability to use good defenses, quoting other people, you see, or the ability to defend yourself physically, you see, do some brave thing with your physical hands, you see. These are the things and the defense and the defense mechanisms and the abilities that human beings are well acquainted with. They are physical, you see. But this fight, my friends, is a spiritual one. This fight is to keep the commandments of Jesus Christ. This fight is to know Him, to learn how to hear His voice, and then to be obedient to Him. This fight is to not let the world plague your heart and occupy your heart, and to consider the wisdom of this world foolishness. This fight is to keep the light that reflects the kingdom of God in this world shining. You see, this fight is to not be carried away in the ways of this world, neither to exalt the ways of this world, the strength of man, the strength of man's hands, and the strength of the principalities and powers of this world. You see, this fight is a fight where there are not many people on your side. There are few to see physically. You see, this fight is a fight that needs us to train our eyes to look, to see, to taste, touch and smell the kingdom of God, which is not physical. You see, we see the same thing as everybody else physically, but we discern completely differently. You see, because the meditation of our hearts is the way of Jesus Christ and what Jesus wants in our life. You see, this fight means that you can't do what everybody else is doing. You can't lie. You can't covet. You can't do all these other things. Not because you're better than anybody or I'm better than anybody, but because these ways don't please Jesus. You see, we can't be like the whole world. The whole world seeks a security in the world, in the ways of the world. They seek to have the strengths and the power of the world, money, fame, the accolades that promote you in the world. You see, but our strength and our desires and pursuits must be accolades that we receive in the kingdom of heaven. You see, gold and silver and precious metals and stones that are tried by the consuming fire Himself. You see, our pursuits are completely alien to this world. That's why it's very easy to forsake them. Our pursuits look foolish to the eyes of the world, like foolishness. You see, because we have no earthly defense. You see, lest it's only given by the dictates of heaven. You see, everything comes from heaven. All our strengths, the road that we have to take. So my friends, this fight, it's not an easy one. It's a fight against yourself. It's a fight against your own flesh. It's a fight against the world that occupies your flesh, my flesh, that wants to occupy, that tempts us, that causes us to suffer, that causes us to lose out on the many different things that other people are gaining. You see, it causes us sometimes to be hungry, to be thirsty for physical food, and to lack physical shelter. You see, not have the best raiment, not have the best things, but at the same time it gives us spiritual food, spiritual water, spiritual shelter. You see, and the best of what the kingdom of heaven has to give us in this world, but then in the world to come. You see, it's a fight to preach a kingdom and to represent a kingdom that is not of this world. You represent this kingdom in the meditations of your heart, the word of your mouth, and the word of, more especially the word that is spoken through your actions. You see, so the word in your mouth, the word in your actions, and the word that you think about deeply in the core of your heart, the core of your being. You see, this word has to come from where? The mouth of God. You see, everybody is trained to receive things with their physical senses, their physical ears and all these other things. You see, but we have to train ourselves to shut these things and receive with our spiritual ears. You see, and understand with our hearts. This word is put into us by the Spirit of God. You see, and that's why we must receive this word, because this is the only truth in this world. What you receive from God Himself. You see, if I receive something and I tell you, it should motivate you to receive as well. Then we are both receiving. You see, if I'm training in the gym and I'm getting stronger, then I can tell you, hey, this, and this, and then we can train together, you see, and we can both get stronger. You see, this is how it works. So you have to, if you just listen to me, that means you'll never get stronger, you'll never be in the fight. You see, in order to get stronger, you have to be in the fight, in the fray. You see, and it's tough, it's not easy, you have to have resilience. You have to have endurance. You have to have perseverance, long-suffering, patience. You see, the ability to allow yourself to be defined by wisdom, who is Jesus Christ, who knows all the times and the seasons, when to shut up, when to open your mouth, when to do this, when to say that. You see, not the wisdom of this world that tells you, well, you know, you are God. All you have to do is this, and this. But you will be great in the eyes of the world when you do that. You see. But us who follow Jesus Christ, our fight is to bring everything to Jesus. To submit every thought, every action and every plan. You see. Anything that claims to be outside, anything that is outside of that, it has a chance of exalting itself. Then you have your 5-year plan and 10-year plan. But we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You see? And that 10-year plan gets confounded. Or 5-year plan. You see? Because it had nothing to do with Jesus. We never humbled ourselves and said, Lord, if it be thy will. You see? So our fight, my friends, is to learn to live, dwell and abide and have our abode within Jesus Himself. Everything. To allow our hearts to be completely occupied by the kingdom of heaven. And all the other distractions and things, we weed them out. You see, all the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches and the power of rich men and all these things become foolishness. The wisdom of intellectual people, smart people, the strength of Rome and Egypt and Babylon and all these other places, it becomes foolishness to you. You begin to trust in the name of the Lord. You don't trust in David. You don't trust in Goliath. You trust in the name of the Lord. You trust in Jesus Christ. You see? And that becomes very difficult because many people will mock you. You see? Many times even Jesus' own physical brothers didn't believe in what he was saying. You see? It was a test for him. Just like many times in our own life, our own physical families don't understand what you're talking about. You see? But it's a test on us to keep on keeping on and to still pray for all these people. You see? My friends, enter the fight and be strong. If you get knocked down, get back up. Finish it all the way.